Welcome back to F1 23 Breaking Point, ladies and gentlemen. Bit of a gap between this episode and the previous episode. I was traveling last week and I also got a little bit sick. I don't know if you can sort of hear the nasally voice that is very much evident, in this recording. But nonetheless, we're back. And we're going to be continuing on the story. I'm very excited. Last time out, if you guys remember, we played as Callie Mayer. You can see there at the top left, F2 female driver, and we raced in the Netherlands. So Zandvoort, I believe that's the name of the track, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, it was quite an interesting race. A bit of a bold decision by Callie's team to bring her in. The very sort of, penultimate laps and swap on hard tires for some brand new softs, and we basically had to chase down the rest of the field and try and, and we managed to close out the race at the top step of the podium. Oh, got a phone call. Evelyn, okay.
Let me guess, you saw the race, couldn't be prouder, and everyone in the office wouldn't stop screaming.
Well, that saved me a few minutes. Guess I'll speak to you later then.
How are you, Mum?
Oh, I couldn't be prouder, Cal. That was one hell of a race. Everyone in the office wouldn't stop screaming.
Shut up.
Honestly, the way you're driving, I think we're going to have to change your name.
What's here this time?
Callie Winner. You got this in the bag, Cal.
Oh, okay. That is the kind of award-winning journalism that we really do need right now, but one race at a time, okay?
That sounds like Casper talking. Is he looking after you?
Yeah, always. Actually, I've got a meeting with him that I'm running a bit late for, so I've got to dash. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, sweetheart. Call me tonight and well done.
Yeah.
No, goodbye. No, I love you, Callie. Come on now. Listen, so that was Callie's mom. She might be a journalist by the sounds of it. But nonetheless, well, speaking of journalism, let's have a look at some news. Up and coming Callie May, a bit of featured news on Callie's performance. Everyone seems to be talking about her, and her results speak for themselves. What is the secret of her success, rather? Strong team. It's just, maybe she just possesses natural raw talent. So wouldn't be surprised if Callie makes her way to F1, throughout as we continue in this Breaking Point storyline. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. Meanwhile, Connorsport comms. What do we got here? Yeah, nothing sort of out of the ordinary. Turns out they don't know what happened with the comms apparently, and seems like we might be, Connorsport rather, might be getting a bit of flack for potentially protecting the behavior of Devin Butler. Nonetheless, Piastri and McLaren, for real this time. Yep, musical chairs. I think everyone remembers that in the real world parallel storyline of the whole Alpine McLaren saga with Oscar Piastri. So very interesting. Of course, Audi formally announcing their F1 entry, I believe, in the real world to come in 2026, as it says there on the screen as well here in Breaking Point. So a lot of interesting stuff happening. Callie May definitely in the spotlight in F2. Let's check out the social media, see what people are saying at Box. Haven't followed F2 for a few good seasons rather. But watching Callie May has brought me back into the fold. That's good. Always good to bring some people back into racing. Natalie Pinkham, I hate to say, but the rest of the F2 group were outclassed there today. Mayer's fastest lap was just the exclamation point on a dominant performance. Very interesting. So seems to be a lot of positive feedback regards to F2, and especially Callie Mayer's performance seems to be standing out from the crowd. Let's have a look at our emails from the Dutch GP, obviously. Casper said no cameras. Callie, if you guys remember the previous episode, she sort of yanked Casper into the spotlight as well. Casper didn't want to be on camera during the interviews, but she, sort of coerced him into it. But anyways, this is what he's saying. It's our time to shine. From what I saw, you're natural in front of the camera. It certainly is. She spoke very well and has a very calm demeanor about herself. Very confident as well. Tire strategy from Maurizio. Unorthodox but effective. Actually, it was Callie's call to come in. And yeah, it was bang on. One heck of a race out there. Oh, I swear, though, it was the team's call. I remember it being the team's call. Anyways, I might be hallucinating. That's the team principal, by the way. Maurizio. And Ben Hicks wanted to check your availability. Previous email phone hasn't stopped. Photo shoots, interviews, blah, blah, blah. Oh, it's our agent. Okay, give us a call when we're free. Probably worth us having a chat about the kind of thing you want to fill your diary with. Okay, so a lot of exciting stuff happening. A lot of opportunities lining up for Callie. And with that said and done, let's go to the next chapter. Right, Japanese Grand Prix. Several weeks later, Chapter 5. Only a handful of races remain in the 2022 campaign. Sport are still looking to make their mark on the sport during their first season as part of the F1 grid. So it looks like we'll be jumping back into the shoes of Sports, particularly our team principal. Okay, let's have a look. Looks like got a bit of problems with our sold down merchandise. Missed some key sales of the past couple of Grand Prix due to merchandise stock levels. Future stock, particular pre-orders, are looking fantastic though. Okay, that's good. Right, that's right, Andrea. That is that is the name of our team principal at Sport. I had a mental blank for a second there. Let's have a look at our news, trackside chats, outspoken Davidov Butler, which phone call. Oh, it's Davidov, speaking of the devil. Here we go. Answer the damn call, man.
Davidov?
Oh, there we go.
Connor, just thought I'd call for a catch-up.
Wait. What time is it where you are?
Doesn't matter. I wanted a report before the race.
Ah,
Oh.
right. I did ask them to send across all the data to you. Perhaps they forgot. I'll make sure to,
No, I got it all here. Busy man, Andrea. I don't have time to read all that. How's it all look?
the car is running well, data's solid, whole team seems confident, and based on the forecasts, we're sticking to the original tire strategy as we discussed, so we'll see.
Good. And the boys?
Keeping to themselves, so no fireworks. Aiden's been a little quiet, but that's usually a good sign before a race. And Devon's,
I've already spoken to Devon. He's good to go.
oh. Right.
Well, keep up the good work. Good luck. I'm sure we'll speak after.
Right, so a bit of an interesting goal with Davidov. A little bit of tension there as we're also checking out the news. One in particular that I want to highlight. This one about how the silly season continues, obviously with all the drivers swapping around, Oscar Piastri to McLaren, Esteban, Pierre, teaming up with Alpine, and of course, as you can read towards the bottom there, Nick De Vries to line up in the white and blue Scuderia AlphaTauri. Making a rookie at the ripe age of 20. Is De Vries that old? No way. In real life? No, it can't be, right? I'm really confused. Anyways, if it must be if it is a mistake or my information is incorrect. Either way, we know in the real world that there's a bit of an awkward talking point because De Vries obviously got the boot, and the old honey badger is back in the saddle. So very keen to see him out coming up soon in the Hungarian Grand Prix to date this episode rather. Let's have a look at our social media. Arava. Anyone read the old man Butler interview? Not willing to talk about his son. No wonder Devon's on the bounce this season. Yes, very interesting. Jess McF1. Eventful maiden season for Sport. Think they really found their place within the paddock. Well, some positive feedback there. Let's have a look at our emails. Chief, head mechanic. What do we got? Short version, cars run with optimum levels based on projections. Work this up on the wire, to the wire. Keep a close eye on all the data. Go the tire strategy you're planning. Boys will be home in no time. Casper Ackerman interview with Butler. Oh, hang on, this is from Casper. Just read an interview with Davido Butler. Latest trackside chats. I feel you, Andre. Seems like an absolute nightmare to work with, isn't he? He sure is a nightmare, Casper. I'm glad you're feeling my pain. Linda, our ops manager, owner, really went out of his way to help us. Sure, the team will appreciate that. Your dad will love it. So that's the Sakura have confirmed they didn't know if they'd be able to fit the whole team in, but decided to close both. Oh, okay. So it sounds like a night out with the team at a place called Sakura. Anyways, moving on. Mark Presley, our race engineer. Let's have a look at the attachment. That's probably, I imagine... Yeah, that's just the map of the track. Verstappen leading the championship. Charles right behind him. Sergio in third place. Wait. Sergio's in Mercedes. Interesting. Okay. Anyways, yeah, we can probably carry more speed if we go slightly wider. Particularly in the hairpin. Oh, okay. Right. Okay, so we'll try and take a little bit wider, I suppose. Kind of like the Carousel and Nordschleifer. You know, it's the Nürburgring. Anyways, I'm babbling on about, just going on about stuff. Let's head on into the race, and as usual, I'll probably do a voiceover, so we'll jump into it, see what this race has in store for us.
Hey boss, got a couple of minutes?
Or not. We got some things that Andrea needs to take care of. Star is Born, movie industry, film will take place just after the Spanish Grand Prix. Okay, it's possible. What should we prioritize? I had to say, but Davidov is right. The film is too good an opportunity to pass up. Getting Sport on the big screen is excellent for the team. No, we got to keep testing, guys. We, you know, brand new team. We need testing. We need to keep improving the car. That's fine. We'll increase in performance, go down in reputation. Now we jump into the race. Let's see what happens. Right, so here we go. Mid-race in the Japanese Grand Prix. 8 laps remaining. Primary objective. Overtake Bottas before lap 8. So this is going to be quite a tricky one, and definitely was a tricky race for me personally. As we slot in P11 right behind Tsunoda, who's in P10, and we're chasing down. Managed to get the slipstream on him and drag race him down this sort of, you know, main back straight onto sort of a kink into a hairpin, and managed to give him space, and he slotted in behind us. We got the move done. Back up into P10, into the points as we chase down our next target, the smooth operator himself, Carlos Sainz, in that Ferrari, finding himself in P9. Very reminiscent of the real-world performance Ferrari is exhibiting this season. Also, shout out to the GOAT himself, Nicholas Latifi, finding himself dead last by the looks of it, P22. He's our back mark as he lets us go by without any issues. Thank you very much, Nick. As now we're closing the gap on Sainz, starting lap 6, and we can see up ahead Bottas just within eye shot as well, so very much close to the primary objective here. I love these series of corners. I don't nail it that well throughout this race, but definitely with a little bit more practice, if you can nail every single entry and exit, I feel like you could carry much more speed than I did as we really close the gap on Sainz here, and almost it feels like he lets us go as he drag races us just momentarily, but then he slots in behind us as we take this hairpin. I was basically, you know, experimenting throughout the race to see whether I could take that hairpin at second gear or third gear. I found myself, you know, varying in terms of results. Sometimes I get, you know, a boatload of wheel spin as we close the gap here on Bottas, and again getting the tail out very wide, very squarely there, but Bottas gets a little bit more distance on us because of that mistake, but we're closing the gap once again, getting in the slipstream, using a little bit of ERS as well to help us, and then the full Honey Badger late break, Daniel Ricciardo style, as we cut to a cutscene. And yeah, I thought we got the move done there, but then this cutscene came up as we're pulling into the pits now.
Making steady progress today, and Sport needed to. They desperately need some results.
And then disaster. I don't know what is going on here, but for some reason, yeah, we were looking on in despair. Indeed, for some reason they didn't have the front left tire ready, and it was an absolute shambles of a pit stop, and definitely cost us way more positions than we were willing to afford initially when we pulled into the pits. Primary objective updated again to reclaim 8th place, so we got to redo all that work Yeah, Aiden Jackson really... Yeah, definitely sick of it. Verbally, letting everyone know his frustration of that absolute disaster of a pit stop. As we find ourselves P13 coming out of the pits, chasing down Norris in P12. Really going ham, trying to, use ERS and just going very deep into the braking zones. Trying to experiment again with this hairpin and use what the game recommended, trying to use a wider line, but I found myself very much taking a tighter line into that hairpin. So as we fast forward, start of lap 9, closing the gap on Norris with DRS for good measure, getting very close, and then down the inside straight into, I guess this is turn 2 technically, or turn 1. Got the job done. Norris gave us the space there. Thank you very much, Lando. And now chasing down Gasly P11, and up ahead. Who is that actually up ahead? I can't quite see, but using ERS where we can to maximize our traction and slipstream, and then send it down the inside as we set the fastest sector. And probably a little bit cheeky there with the move on Gasly. Sort of ran him a little bit wide there, but I think overall the move was fair game, as again we find ourselves behind Tsunoda. This is a bit of deja vu as we kick out the back end again, coming out of that hairpin. And fast forward, latter part of lap 9, closing the gap on Tsunoda using ERS, and they send it down the inside. Very late lunge and very deep into the braking zone. Managed to get the job done. Wheel spin in second gear, short shift to third. We got DRS for good measure as well. And now we're going to try and chase down Sainz and Bottas. As you can see in the distance, they're duking it out in a good old dogfight, which should work out very much in our favor, allowing us to close the gap on them. And these series of corners, as we fast forward a little bit further up the track, and we've closed the gap on Sainz, who's chasing down Bottas with all his might, and it's definitely helping us a lot as we send it down the inside again. A little bit of a cheeky move, definitely ran Sainz wide a little bit more than I would like to. I'm sure if he could, the AI could respond, he'd probably say something about me intimidating him. Kind of reminiscent of how he said that back in, the Austrian Grand Prix with Sergio as we drag race Bottas down the inside. We managed to get the move done. As a bit of news, looks like Carlos has suffered some sort of issue as his car is slowing down. Did we contribute to that? No idea. We did bump and run with him a little bit. Same with Bottas just then, but we made the move stick as we now chase down, I would say, our co-worker rather than a teammate, Devon Butler in P7. But, again, a little bit squirrely out of the chicane, but managed to keep the car facing in the right direction. Fast forward later on in lap 11 in the hairpin, grabbed a little bit too much of the inside curb, kicking out that back end again. Felt like the car was running a lot of downforce, very much a maximum wings, and it felt like there was not that much left in the ride height as well, because it just felt like the car was stalling out once it got up to top speed, and felt like there was much more to give, but it just wasn't going any faster. We're managing to make up spots here as we close the gap on our co-worker, as I like to put it, Devon Butler. Closing the gap, and we're going to go for a late lunge, try to go for the dummy. I think we bumped a little bit into him. I had a bit of a mental blank there for a second as I was watching this action, even though I raced this already. And we get DRS for good measure as we make the move stick, and we get our bonus objective. So that is something I found out in the previous race, I believe, or a couple of races back, where if you do your primary objective, you still have to do the bonus objective in order to pass, the mission or the race overall. As we fast forward latter end of lap 13, the final lap, and no surprise there, Max Verstappen on the podium, winning the Grand Prix. Red Bull dominating as they do in real life, as we bring it home across the checkered line in P7.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home. Well, it's still too close to call at the top of the table. Meanwhile, at the other end, you can really understand Aiden Jackson's frustrations today.
Yeah, they've had car problems all season long, Crofty. They've had a bad mix-up in the garage today. Connor Sport won't be proud of that one.
And Connor Sport won't be proud of that. It's the longest pit stop we've had this season. Not the sort of record any team wants to set. Red Bull put up an outstanding fight for the front position today, and it's great to see it paid off for them. They do so much for the sports that you can't help but be delighted by today's race win.
Oh, okay. I understand what I was looking at earlier. When we were looking at Mark's email, the right-hand side was the Constructors' Championship, not the Drivers. So it wasn't Sergio was a part of Mercedes. It was just saying that Mercedes was third in the Constructors' Championship. Okay, I was very confused, but there you go. Charles got a podium. Good on him. It's been very rare this year, so good to see it for him in a video game. Here we go. Got some interview time now.
Aiden, I'm sure you already know what I'm going to ask. That pit stop looked like a nightmare. So what on earth happened today?
What on earth happened indeed, Natalie? Well, what can we say? We better take the high road on this one. That was definitely sloppy, but every race has its hiccups, and we'll add a reputation with that.
You know that every race has a hiccup, so you can just never tell when it's going to happen. You just got to be ready and roll with the punches. I guess on the plus side, a mess up like that means that this mistake will never happen again.
Well, there is a lot of talk on social media about whether Devon is actually getting preferential treatment by the team. So, do you think, is there any truth to that, or is it an unfair assumption?
Man, it's just like poking the bear, don't you, Natalie? All right. Is it unfair assumption? Potentially. What should we say? Yeah, again, we'll take the curved road. 3 of these answers I would very much like to say, particularly the bottom one. But I think we got to go with the right-hand side. His dad may be funding the team, but we're treated equally.
Good question. Davidoff Butler may be funding the team, but he's a good man. He works hard to make sure that everyone's equal. So, no, I don't think so.
Well, Aiden, the list seems to get longer. Car reliability, you and Devon bumping wheels, and now issues in the pit lane. Huge mounting problems at Connorsport. Has there been any talk at all about what the team might do next season, considering that you and Devon just don't seem to get along?
Yeah, I mean, what can we do? We did actually bump a little bit, I feel like, when we passed Devon during the race, but I think it was a fair game move. What do we say? Yeah, I think we just gotta be. I'm someone who, as much as I like to think about the future, always got to also not forget about the present. So right now it's all about Connorsport. Who knows what the future will bring?
But who knows what the future will bring? At the moment, it's all about Connorsport and bringing in as many points as I can.
And finally, I've got to ask you.
Solid answer.
It has been reported that Mercedes have agreed a deal for George Russell to play a small part in the latest Throttle Zone movie. What do you make of that?
Well, yeah, George has got a lot to offer outside the world of F1. Or we'll just say we can't wait to see the film.
Yeah, that sounds like a great opportunity for him. The Throttle Zone movies, they're amazing and they have such a massive fan base, so it's great to see them acknowledge F1 in the way that it should be. And I think George is the perfect pick, so can't wait to see what he does.
Oh, let's see.
Thank you.
You're welcome. There's George, speaking of the devil, lurking in the background. Right, well, that was a exhilarating Japanese Grand Prix. The Suzuka circuit is unrelenting. A lot of fast corners, a lot of slow corners as well. A lot of tricky corners, and a lot of unforeseen circumstances like that pit stop. That was absolutely a nightmare, but I hope this episode wasn't a nightmare. I do tend to babble on about, but we can have a look. Our performance level is at 5, reputation level 3. That's not too bad, I think, but overall I enjoyed this race. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and yeah, stay tuned for the next one. As always, leave a like, subscribe, leave a comments down below, and stay tuned for the next one. Until then, as always, take care of yourselves, and I will catch you guys in the next episode.